Ladies and gentlemen, because of our the fact that we're in a pandemic, we have our COVID protocols. That is why you're sitting out there socially distanced. But as I said earlier, you have been called for jury duty this week, and you will be examined for inclusion on a criminal case that we will be trying. Our court hours are normally from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And as I said earlier, if you are selected or if you are not selected, you are performing a significant service that only free people can perform. If you're selected, the case will be tried expeditiously, consistent with justice, which require careful and correct trial. If selected on the jury, unless instructed otherwise, you will be permitted to separate at recess, for meals, and at night. And my name is Judge Terrence L. Holmes. I'm the presiding judge here in County Court at Law Number 2. I must administer one of two oaths to you today. And what I need everyone to do is raise your right hand. And once I give you the oath, you can say, I do. Do you and each of you do solemnly swear or affirm that you will make true answers to such questions as may be propounded to you by the court or under the direction of the court, touching on your service, qualifications as jurors, so help you God? Okay, you may put your hand down. The law requires that each of you must possess certain qualifications before you can be considered for service as a juror. Also, there are certain exclusions or excuses and exemptions some of you may wish to claim. First, I would like to determine if all of you possess the qualifications for service on a criminal jury. It is very important that you answer each question truthfully. If you do not, and the lawyers or I discover this fact after you are seated on a jury, the case could be retried and you may be held in contempt of court and placed in jail for up to 180 days and fined up to $500. After I asked a series of questions, if anyone believed that they are disqualified, what we can do is have you to come forward and we can discuss that matter. It'll be in private because we'll put this noise on. Okay, and so I will ask the question and you can just answer the question to yourself. And then once I get to the end, I'll ask if anyone feels as though that they're disqualified, and then we'll have you to come forward. Okay, first question. Except for failure to register, are you a qualified voter in this county and state under the Constitution and laws of this state? Have you ever been convicted of theft or any felony? Are you under indictment or legal accusation or on deferred adjudicated probation for theft or any felony? Are you presently insane or have you been declared insane by any mental health or judicial official? I had to ask that question because it's on the list. Okay. Are you 18 years of age or older? Are you a citizen of the United States? Are you a resident of Texas and a resident of Jefferson County? Are you of sound mind and good moral character? Are you able to read and write the English language? Have you served as a petty juror for 6 days in the preceding 3 months in a county court, or 6 days in the preceding 6 months in a district court. Is there anyone who feels that they are disqualified under the law? If you think that you may be disqualified, you could just raise your right hand. Okay? No one raised their hand, so everyone is qualified. Now I will move on to exemptions. Now I will determine if anyone who is otherwise qualified to be a juror wishes to claim one of the following exemptions. You may claim any of the following exemptions if you choose to, but you are not required to claim them. If one of these applies to you, but you still desire to be considered as a juror, please remain seated. First question. Are you over 70 years of age? Do you have legal custody of a child or children under the age of 12, and jury service would necessitate leaving the child or children without adequate supervision? Are you a student in a public or private secondary school? Are you enrolled and in actual attendance at an institution of higher education? Are you an officer or an employee of the Senate, the House of Representatives, or any department, commission, board, office, or other agency in the legislative branch of state government? Have you served as a petty juror in the county during the 3-year period preceding the date that you were required to appear here in court today? Are you the primary caretaker of a person who is an invalid, unable to care for himself or herself? Are you a member of the United States military forces serving on active duty and deployed to a location away from your home station and out of your county of residence? If any of these exemptions apply to you and you do not desire to serve as a juror, please come up to the bench at this time so we can discuss these matters privately. Okay, no one is claiming an exemption. Now we move on to excuses. If any of you feel that there is a reason why you cannot sit as a juror today, then after I ask these questions, the following questions, then you will come up before the bench and we will discuss the matter. A juror may be excused for observance of a religious holiday upon completing an affidavit as required under Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 29.012C. A juror may not be excused for economic reasons without the consent of the parties, that is, without the consent of the defense and the state. And that's pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Section 62.110C. A juror who, without prompting, articulates an inability to listen to testimony and be fair and impartial may be excused. Is there anyone here who feels as though there's a reason why you cannot sit as a juror today? Okay, we have no, if you do feel that way, please raise your right hand. Okay, no one is raising their right hands. Okay. So at this time, all our jurors are qualified. Nobody is claiming exemptions, and no one is claiming any excuse. Now, Mr. Mr. Crenshaw and Ms. Maxey, take on board. Our jury has been qualified, so what you want to shuffle? Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're gonna ask that you follow the bailiff instructions. You're gonna go back out to the hall, and then we'll call you back in one at a time. Now, your seats may change when you called in, so just follow the directions of the bailiff. We're back in session in cause number 324160. The case is style of State of Texas versus Cleavon Demetrius Buxton. The jury has just been impaneled. The defense is asking for a shuffle. Is that correct, Mr. Crenshaw?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, so at this time, we will have a shuffle, and the court will be in recess.